Here is a little video I want to dedicate to the likes of Jamie Dimon of JP Morgan Chase and a good friend of his, Lloyd Blankfein of Goldman Sachs, also known as the Vampire Squid Bank. Highest paid CEOs are actually running the worst performing businesses. Really? Who would have ever thought? A research firm finds that businesses which are led by lower paid CEOs earn a greater shareholder return. So as soon as I saw that headline, I said, Jamie Dimon was making like $25 million a year and had some serious stock options with the company, Chase, JP Morgan Chase. I can't remember if I just said Jamie Dimon or JP Morgan Chase. So let me start that over again. Jamie Dimon, who works for JP Morgan Chase, was making somewhere around $25 million a year, I believe, was his salary. But he had some serious stock options in the company, which made him a billionaire as of last year. So when you include that, he's a high-paid CEO. He must be doing a phenomenal job for his shareholders, right? Kind of like, what was that guy's name? I mentioned this the other day. Freddie Mac or Fannie Mae, one of those guys. Remember they got bought out, taken over, and then the departing CEO gets to walk away with $100 million. Failed company, failure as a CEO. You do pass go. You do collect $200, except this time we're going to change that in for you for $100 million. So is this shocking to anybody that the highest paid CEOs actually perform the worst? In this day and age, where up is down, down is up, left is right, right is left, right is wrong, wrong is right, no morals is good morals, etc., does this shock you even a tiny bit? Don't even waste your time responding. I know the answer. Not only no, but hell no, you're not shocked at all. The highest paid CEOs tend to run some of the worst performing companies according to newly done research. In the study, which was actually carried out by research firm MSCI, has found that for approximately every $100 invested in companies with the highest paid CEOs would have grown to $265 over 10 years. However, same example, but with the lowest paid CEOs in their companies, you would have made $367 over the same 10 years. So for $100, do you want back $265 or would you like back $365? Dumb question. I already know the answer. Absolutely, I'd like $365 back. Or, excuse me, $367 back. Tilted, are CEOs paid for performance? Tilted. Jay Snip, step in my office. I'm firing myself. Let me try that again. Tilted. Titled, are CEOs paying for performance? Evaluating the effectiveness of equity incentives. The report looked at the salaries of 800 CEOs at 429 large and medium-sized U.S. companies between the years of 2005 through 2014 and compared it with the total shareholder return of the companies. The report notes that equity incentive awards now comprise 70% more percent or more of total summary CEO pay in the United States. Based on our calculations, we found little evidence to show a link between the large proportion of pay that such awards represent in long-term company stock performance. In fact, even after adjusting for company size and sector, companies with lower total summary CEO pay levels more consistently displayed higher long-term investment returns. So if you want to really make money, don't put your money in any of the club's businesses. That would be their banking systems and any other corporations for that matter. What this is showing you is go with a normal company, not an elitist company, a normal red-blooded American type guy, his company or her company, and invest there. You stand to make twice as much. Remember, $100 turned to $267. It's actually more than twice. $267 is the high CEO company. $367 was the low-paid CEO's company. So would you like to slightly more than double your money or slightly more than triple your money? Again, obvious answer. Yeah, but JP Morgan Chase was the largest U.S. bank by assets. Bank of America, America's largest by customers. You know the old saying, the bigger they are, the harder they fall? It's not just in relation to like punching somebody bigger than you and, you hit them right, they're going to fall down. The bigger they are, the harder they're going to fall. No. It's not just for that. The bigger the bank, the harder it's going to fall. Or you could look at it this way. The bigger the bank, the harder the bailout's going to be on your back pocket, out of your back pocket to fix that bank, or so we're told. And now we're hearing more murmuring about we need more bailouts. We need another round of QE. We need another round of bailouts. Over in Europe, that's the noise right now. We had our first bailout in 2008 and 9, after 2009. That was supposed to fix the problems. You said you only needed it once. We're good to go. It's going to fix it. And now we're hearing, actually, we might need another one. And if there's another one anywhere in the Western world, another bailout anywhere, the people are going to finally realize, even the most hardened sheeple are going to finally realize, wow, they really have been lying to us. All these so-called conspiracy theorist guys on YouTube and everywhere else and all this stuff I see sometimes on Facebook, my friend posts, wow, it's actually right. Which is then going to make your brain feel kind of wonky because you're going to say, hold on, experts, government, authority has been lying to us this whole time. Meanwhile, my bozo friend doesn't have a college degree in anything, does alleged research on the freaking internet. And he was right. Or she. I can't be a sexist pig. He or she was right. Wow. Oh, and right around that time, take a look at your little 401k, the value of your house, your retirement, your pension. Let we conspiracy theorists know how that's working out for you. Because I'm going to pick up a little old stack of silver right around that same time and say, man, oh man, you should have been listening. Yeah, but you don't even have, you're not a freaking financial analyst or expert or financial advisor or no, and I didn't go to college to learn how to program. I didn't go to school and get a nice $50,000, $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 student loan to learn how to work on computers as well as program. You know what old J. Snip 4 did? Back in 2008, I wasn't a programmer. I was an IT guy. I did the computer hardware stuff, no problem. Network administrator would have been my title. Setting policy, shares, throughout the organization. As far as policies on the PCs and what they call group policy, if you will. Anyways, that was the extent of my skills. And I decided one day, this company I work for, which I love very much, I don't have a whole lot to do back here in the IT room. I'm a one-man show back there. And I wonder if I can make this place run a little smoother, make things flow a little better, because I'm noticing that the sales team, keeping in mind I was there about 3 years at this point, the sales team gets their documents, Word docs and spreadsheets, fills that out, prints it all out, gets approved. The approval packet with all their stuff goes to the service department, who then have to print some of their own stuff to go inside that same folder, physical folder. And then it goes to maybe finance after they're done with it. And then purchasing at some point gets a piece of that folder. All manual, walking around, hand this one to that one, And I said, man, there's got to be a better way than this. This is old school. I got to figure out if I could make something to help this out. So I started researching. Lo and behold, Microsoft Access database program. Small office type of environment. Actually, it could be used in a larger office as well with front end and back ends. I split the database, but I didn't know that at the time. So, I poke around, I look on YouTube. Oh, there's part 1, 2, 3, and 4 of the very beginner series of how to essentially become an Access developer. I watched the 4 of them. I followed right along. I said, man, I think I can do this. I really think I could do this. So I asked my boss at the time, listen, there's a course online that's about $150. I already paid for it because I'm pretty sure we can use this. If I can develop something for this company to stop this whole documents and constantly having to retype stuff, the service department gets it, they got to retype the customer name, address on their documents, it doesn't flow over. And, if I can pull this off, all I would ask is you pay me back the $150 since it's, for the company. She's like, of course, yes, absolutely. Go for it. And start off by doing the sales piece. So I went out, started talking to some of the salespeople. What is the exact process? I want to sit here and watch a little bit, see what happens. Okay, well, first I do this, then I do that. Okay. So I start seeing what fields need to be generated. I do the whole thing. Didn't take me long at all because as I was following along with the course on YouTube, which again, now that I paid for it, I was able to download videos from their website, this particular guy's website, and then follow them right there on my computer. So it was no more YouTube. Point being, I went online and educated myself. I didn't go to freaking college. And I was building my program while watching what he was doing on his, which are 2 separate programs, but the logic, was there so I could figure out what was happening. So I made the program. Sales team, we had 2 reps use it to begin with. They did their paperwork and they inputted it into the system side by side so that way we could make sure it flowed and everything. And I got it down and okay, it's working. Then it went to, okay, we like this. This is really great. We're still printing stuff, but at least they can click a button, print, not have to type so much, not have to carry documents around too much. So they used it. Then it became, let's add a service department. Let's add the whole sales department first. Then let's add the service department. Now we've got engineering department. The whole company uses this thing, and I've been building this for years and updates constantly. Point being, I didn't go to college for any of this nonsense. I don't have this freaking huge student loan, because even if I did go to college and learn a little bit there, I'm still a newbie when I go out in the real world. And I still would have had to go to my boss and say, look, I want to develop something, but I know I have a college degree in this, but I'm still very new at it, so I need to, do some more online training, because you're not going to get taught all this in freaking college. So, be honest with you, I'm not even sure why I started talking about that. Something in here got me going on that. In fact, after adjusting for the company size and sector, companies with lower total summary CEO pay levels more consistently display higher long-term investment returns. The CEO, both of them, well, not both, but there's 2 owners, 1 CEO of my company, are not members of the club. And our company has been consistently making more and more higher returns each year. Quarterly is doing great. So this is interesting because my company that I work for fits the lower paid CEO thing here. not these super, super fat cat CEOs who taken all the money and shareholder. Think about it. Goldman Sachs referred to their clients as freaking Muppets. All these Muppets. And truth be told, I think they're right. We're just a bunch of stupid Muppets, zombies. Pokemon Go. Yeah. Unbelievable. Rick Marshall, a senior corporate governance researcher at MSCI, said in a statement, the highest paid had the worst performance by a significant margin. It just argues for the equity portion of CEO pay to be more conservative. Whether you look at the entire group or adjust by market cap and sector, you really get very similar results. Big fat corporate CEOs, the likes of Jamie Dimon, Lloyd Blankfein and friends, crappy performance compared to regular non-elite businesses. Which doesn't surprise me why the banking sector across the world right now is sucking. So, just wanted to share that little story with you. Got off my little rant about educating myself, not playing the stupid college game. Now, having said that, there's certain things you have to go to college for. You're going to be a doctor, dentist, nurse, etc. Yeah, you're going to go to school. Lawyer, yeah, you're going to go to school. Everything else, I think I know why people say, well, 50% of the people who graduate college don't even get a job in the field. So in other words, out of the $1.3 trillion in debt, half of that amount, $650 billion worth should be thrown away. Why? Because if 50% of the people don't even get a job from what their degree was, then that means 50% of the the student loan debt, that's what I meant, student loan debt is irrelevant. I mean, really. But it's not, because you still owe it. And you can't bankrupt out of it. And I want to end this video by saying this. Just talking to my buddy Frank at work at lunch today, actually, and my other friend Jason, who I grew up with as a kid. He meets us at lunch sometimes. We talk about stuff. We were talking about politics today. Shocker. Hillary, DNC, email, all that. But, where was I going to go with this? The conversation we got into at one point was student loan debt and all that. And I said, I got a sneaky suspicion. These laws that just passed recently, all females allowed to be in the draft now. Female can't just limit that to males because of equality, of course. Or is it because World War III is about to start and they're going to need a lot of able-bodied people, women and men? And I said, you know what they'll do? They'll make them an offer they can't refuse. Join the military for 4 years, whatever it is. Not the 2 year. 4 years minimum. And when you get out, we'll wipe off your student debt. We'll wipe it off. Just join the military for 4 years. Ooh. I would never be able to pay this off in 4 years. So I'll get to work in the military and get a paycheck, because you get paid in the military. I'll have a decent thing to put on my resume. Worked in the military. Patriotic. That's great. And I get to wipe out my debt. Wow. Student loan debt, that is. And there's a whole bunch of these young bucks, college degrees in hand, no job to be found. So in that case, the old military is looking kind of good. Again, the club does things in advance. You think they were just being, women's rights again? Oh, women's rights. You guys deserve everything men do. And we've been so good. We've been trying to keep up with everything, but we missed one thing. The draft. Joining the military. Now, women can go in any branch of the military. And guess what? You heard it here first. They will be. As Yoda once said, you will. You will. Take care.